Yo, guys, what is up? Max in our Starfield video, and today we're doing a full in-depth breakdown of the skill tree system. Now, there are a ton of skills to pick from in Starfield, and there is no way to respec. So having a good idea of what character you want to build towards and what skills you want to prioritize is really important when you're starting out the game, so that you can put points into the skills that you're interested in. Today's video is going to be a full breakdown not only of how the skill tree system works, but also highlighting some must-have skills in each of the trees. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Before we get into it, thank you, Bethesda, for sponsoring this video and for hooking me up with an early access code of Starfield. And with that, guys, let's get right into it. So to start us off, there are 5 categories of skill trees in Starfield. We've got physical, social, combat, science, and tech. We're going to do a brief overview, and then we'll get into the specifics and skills that I think are really interesting that you might want to focus on. So to start us off, the physical tree is all about your physical attributes as a character. If you want to be able to stealth better, that is in this skill tree. If you want to carry more items, that is in the physical tree. If you want more health, that is in this physical skill tree. Next up, we've got the social skill tree. This is going to have to do with all of your social attributes as a character, whether that be your ability to steal from enemies, your ability to persuade other NPCs to get better deals at vendors, and so on and so forth. Next up is the combat skill tree. This is going to do with all of your combat. The combat skill tree is laid out so that you've got some like general damage types in the beginning where your ballistic weapons deal more damage, and then you've got more and more specific things like your rifles deal more damage so that you can pair ballistics with more rifle damage and then use a ballistic rifle. And then we've got some really crazy abilities at the bottom that we'll talk about in a second. Next up is the science skill tree. This is going to have to do with a lot of your research and development and your exploration of the galaxies. We've got things like your ability to craft more items and create mods for your weapons and your spacesuits. Your scanner gets improved. You can have improved outposts. This is all about your exploration. And then lastly is the tech. The tech tree is all about your starship, and it also has the skill for boost pack training, which I think is an absolute must-have. There isn't any way to like travel quickly on land, and so the boost pack becomes the best method of travel. I think this is a skill that everyone's going to pick up, and it's also got the security skill as a starting skill, which allows you to hack expert locks and advanced locks and master locks. And I found some of the best loot that I found in the game behind these locks. So these are 2 really great skills. And then as you get further down, it gets more and more specialized towards your missile systems, particle beam weapon systems, your engines, your payloads. This is all about your starship. And if you want to be able to fully upgrade and like craft your starship, the starship design skill is going to be a must-have skill to get, and it's got some even further boost pack training and more weapon systems as you go further and further into it. Before we do a deep dive into the skills in each tree, I want to show you how these skills actually work, because it's really cool, and it's been a lot of fun ranking them up. So every skill in the skill trees in Starfield has 4 ranks. Every single skill in all of the skill trees. And when you spend a skill point, you unlock rank 1 of the skill. That is the like most basic version of the skill. If you have another skill point to spend, you actually can't progress the skill until you do the challenge. So here we've got the martial arts skill. This is going to give me increased chance to crit with a melee or unarmed attack. Currently, I can't rank this up to rank 2. As you can see, it says locked. Complete the previous rank challenge to unlock this rank. In order to have the ability to rank this up, I need to deal 250 damage with unarmed attacks. So what this does is the skills that you're wanting to spec into, you actually have to use the playstyle. If you want to rank up the lock picking skill, you got to break some locks. If you want to rank up the rifle skill, you have to be using rifles, and this starts molding your character and your playstyle into the skills that you're using. But it also means that you're not just going to be blasting through this skill tree. It takes a while, and it is a progression system that feels pretty good, and you're gonna want to be getting those rank 4 bonuses because a lot of the rank 4 bonuses are pretty crazy. Next up, we've got to highlight how this skill tree actually functions, how you progress down it, and some of the best skills in each row. So to start us off in the physical tree, and this is for all skills, you need to spend a certain amount of points to unlock the master skills. This yellow bar at the very end is your master skills for each category. And for example, in the combat tree, I need to spend 6 more points to unlock the master skills, and I only need to spend 3 more points in the physical tree because I've already spent a bunch of points here. Now, you can spend those points anywhere. You don't need to spend them in the first row and then the second row and then the third row. You could spend all of your points in the top row and unlock master skills, or you could put them in like 1 point in each of your skills, or you could just dump all of them into a certain skill that you like. For example, I really like the stealth skill. You'll notice in my skill trees, I've got a lot of stealth things, going for that stealth archer playstyle, but at rank 4 of the stealth skill, I'm 100% more difficult to detect when sneaking, and my suppressed weapons do additional sneak attack damage. This is perfect for me. Then I grabbed some weightlifting points to give me more carrying capacity, just because I will like picking up a lot of things in this game. I grabbed the gymnastics for the ability to combat slide and take 15% less fall damage. And then I'm going for martial arts for more crit chance with my melee weapons for those melee attacks. And then the concealment capstone is going to allow me, whenever I engage in stealth, to cause distant enemies to lose me, and my ranged sneak attacks are going to do 4x normal damage, and your melee sneak attacks will deal 10x normal damage. You can kind of already see where I'm going with this physical tree. It's going to be a very stealth-oriented, high-damage playstyle. The other physical capstone, Neurostrikes, allows me to add EM damage to my unarmed attacks, and I'll be able to knock down big groups of enemies whenever I stun an enemy. And the other one is Rejuvenation, which will allow you to heal and regenerate health outside of combat. And at rank 4, you're now going to be regenerating health constantly while you're in combat. In the social skill tree, I grabbed the Scavenge skill, which is going to give me, whenever I open a chest, a chance to get extra credits, and more importantly, find extra ammo whenever I'm looting crates, because there's tons of loot in this game, and getting some extra ammo is really great. The Persuasion skill would also be really nice. In the second row, we've got tons of cool things for smuggling contraband, if you want to get into that. The Isolation skill is what I'm going to be going for here, to deal 40% weapon damage and gain damage resistances for each spacesuit and helmet equipped when I don't have a companion or any crew. In this game, you can pick to play with NPCs or play without them, and you get bonuses regardless of what you're doing. We've also got like bribery skills. We've got instigation. You can force a target NPC at or below your level to attack their allies for a limited time. So we've got some social manipulation. And then the capstones, we've got actual manipulation. You can now force a target NPC at or below your level to obey commands for a limited time. You've got the ship command to give you more active crew members, and the crew members have perks. And when you have crew members on your ship, you actually get to benefit from those perks, which is really nice. And then we've got Xenosociology. This is going to allow you to do the same thing as the manipulation, but to aliens. The combat skill tree is a little bit more straightforward. We've got like ballistic weapons dealing more damage. Ballistic weapons are weapons that shoot bullets. Lasers, laser weapons do more damage, more pistol damage, more shotgun damage, and all of these things overlap. So if you're using a ballistic shotgun, you could go for the ballistic perk and the shotgun perk, and those would stack up together. Then as we go down the skill tree, it gets more and more specific. So like more things for our grenades, more things for particle beam weapons, rifle weapons. Then we've got the sniper certification to give you more damage with your snipers, and you're going to be more efficient with them. The marksman, which looks really cool. I haven't encountered like a bow yet, but this skill tree looks really, really awesome. The targeting skill, increased accuracy and range when shooting without aiming. Marks up to one enemy within 25 meters that damages you. 10% chance to disarm targets when shooting without aiming. Marks up to 4 enemies with 100 meters that damage you. Looks really cool for your like space cowboy playstyle. And then our capstones are armor penetration, where you can ignore enemy armor when you're shooting at them. The crippling, which you have human enemies have a 30% increased chance to enter a down state after taking enough damage, which is crazy. You just start kneecapping people. And then the sharpshooting is going to be increasing your crit chance and damage, especially when you're hitting those headshots, and even increase crit damage to enemies' legs by 50% with ranged weapons. In the science skill tree, it's really going to be about crafting and making you more efficient with gathering the things that you need for crafting. So for example, geology is going to give you the ability to get cooler resources whenever you're breaking rocks. And then, for example, the weapon engineering is going to allow you to craft higher edge weapon mods, and you're going to need those special rocks that you got from geology to get better weapon mods. So if you're looking for really kitting out your like spacesuit, kitting out your weapons, and being more of that like gathering playstyle where you're going out and like looking for specific resources and really upgrading your character, science is going to be a great bet for you. The capstones for science are going to give your ship reactors more units of power. The units of power on your ship will allow you to increase the proficiency of the systems that you're using. So, for example, a weapon that has 5 power versus a weapon that has 7 power, a weapon that has 7 power will be able to deal more damage. So, more abilities for your ships at the capstone. The planetary habituation is really cool. You'll be able to build outposts on planets with extreme temperatures like deep freeze and inferno, and increase the maximum number of outposts that you can build. And at rank 4, this is up to 16 outposts. So if you really want to explore the whole galaxy, this is a great skill for you. And then special projects allows you to craft crazy things at your workbench. And lastly, for the tech tree, this is once again really focused on your starship, but we've also got some cool skills with boost pack training, which I absolutely love. I think everyone's going to want to eventually pick up a boost pack because they just make getting around so easy. So we've got boost pack training, we've got security training so that you can pick more locks. I found some of the best loot I've found in the game just by picking locks, so I definitely recommend picking up this skill. In the second row, we've got better weapon systems. We've got you can hold more capacity in your ship. Your shields are going to be better. As we get further down, we've got more and more specifics. The starship design is, I think, a skill a lot of people are going to want to pick up. Allows the installation of improved ship modules. If you're looking to get into ship crafting and deep dive with that, you're going to want to pick up these. This is going to allow you to repair your ship better. And then our capstones, the automated weapon systems. Automated ship weapons do 10% more damage and reduce all targeting mode cost by 20% at base. And then it's just going to increase the damage of your automated turrets. You get a lot of resources and money killing other spaceships and doing space combat. So if you're looking to get rich, actually playing with your ship and killing a lot of enemies, particularly bandits, is going to help you out a ton. We've got the boost assault training as another capstone. Nearby enemies take damage when you boost and have a chance to catch on fire. And at rank 4, while hovering, time slows down and the world moves 70% slower around you when you're boosting, which is really cool. And then lastly, we've got EM weapon systems. Your ship weapons have EM weapons have 10% increased damage and cost less to use in targeting mode. EM weapons are really powerful for just shutting down other ships and finishing them off. So that is another capstone. Guys, that is going to do it for the skill tree video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this gave you a look into how the skill tree functions in Starfield and maybe inspired you for how you're planning on building your character. The most exciting thing for me personally here is that, one, there are a ton of skills. 2, they are very specialized and specific skills, so you can go into a character that you really want to play and play out the fantasy that you really want to go for, whether that be someone who's specializing on exploring space and crafting and mining all of the materials out there. If you're someone who really is looking to use snipers while boosting in a jetpack, if you're someone who wants to go unarmed and only use their fists, there's just playstyles for everyone here, and there's a ton of depth. And the fact that there is no max level means that you're gonna be able to get all these skills. Just depends on what order you want to get. And even after 30 hours, I'm just barely scratching the surface of these skill trees. There is a ton of time to put into to get the skills that you want, which is just awesome. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will catch y'all in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.